It's all fun. It's funny, isn't it, when it goes like that and it's just three heads on a screen. We're back at it again. It is episode 5. Bex, is it episode 5?
6 today.
6? Wow.
Lost count.
It's lost count. There's so many. Episode 6 of the Drunken Brainwave. Hello to everybody watching. We're live on YouTube, Instagram, and YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Welcome back. As you can see, we're all floating heads again, unfortunately. Bex is the lucky one, though, in the office. In for Jamie, who's off at the minute. And we welcome the main man back, Adam Barrie.
I thought you were going to say myself, Lee Wilcox.
No.
Yeah, I am back. I am back in my 10-year-old son's bedroom on a small child's chair, working off a child's desk. Got the gang with me. Those that are viewing this live can see the gang in the background. But for those of you that are tuning in via audio, then I've got a load of kids' teddies in the background. I've also got neon signs for the Drunken Brainwave. So it's not too bad.
Thank you for organising that for us.
No problem, Bex.
That is good.
I'm happy to be back. Although I'm feeling it. I think everyone is at the minute, aren't they? It's a strange time. For anyone who's listening to this later on, we are on the first day of official lockdown number 2.
Yeah, lockdown 2.0. So in normal fashion, I'm Lee Wilcox. That was Adam Barrie. What do we do next, Ad?
We roll the VT.
Love the VT. I love the music.
Yeah. I forgot about that bit. I just started rambling on at the start of the podcast.
Oh, I know, you're good. So yeah, as normal, guys, get your comments in. Any questions? Unfortunately, Adam couldn't be with us last week. We've got a signal why. Adam, do you want to let? At this point, I want to try a bit. We should have arranged the music or something. But it's like,
yeah, that would have been good.
It would have, wouldn't it?
So I know. Last week I was due to go on annual leave last week, so I booked a holiday, a few days away. Kids' October half term, but I ended up getting ill during that week off and tested positive for the Rona. So I've had a real bad sort of 2 weeks when I first started self-isolating up until coming back into work on Monday. I say into work, working from my son's bedroom, but I've not had a good time, guys. I'm not going to lie. It's been pretty awful.
What's your main symptom be?
I'd say it's like having a cold. So I'm still coughing a little bit. So I'll have to keep muting throughout this just to cover that up. So if you do see me struggling, just cover for me, Lee. Jump in. But the taste of the loss of your taste and your smell is a strange one. I've never really experienced that. It's really weird. I was just going to be really disgusting then, but I'm not going to. But you can't taste any foods whatsoever. It's strange. You can't taste anything. I had a drink Saturday night, and I was like, look, Lorne, and I was just drinking straight spirits to prove to her that I couldn't taste anything. And then she was like, you're going to get really drunk. But I actually didn't, because I think you end up being immune to getting drunk as well. I don't know why. But yeah, I've had really bad head and just fatigue. Yesterday was the first day where I felt human again for a couple of weeks. Come back in Monday and I still felt rough, but I was like, okay, I must be getting over it because I'm all right. I'm in work. But then Tuesday, I took a turn for the worse and I kind of had to cancel a couple of meetings in the morning. So yeah, just awful, mate. It's the staying in as well. It's not nice, is it? Having to stay in.
Yeah, I must admit, since we got back from London, I haven't really gone out anywhere. I haven't been back into the office or anything, and I just haven't really gone out anywhere. And I even started I was meant to get my hair cut on.
You do need a haircut.
I know I do. I was meant to get my hair cut last Friday, and because I knew you'd got it at that point. I don't think you tested positive there, but you were real as anything, weren't you? And we were like, yeah, pretty sure. I thought, it's a bit irresponsible, really, me going out. I should be isolating. I was with you the week before, so cancelled my haircut, and then Boris came out with his bloody lockdown. I can't get it done. Devastated. I wish I'd just gone and done it, but I haven't really been out much, and the staying in is bad. But I have had like periods of going out, whereas I guess you and the fam have just been that's it, whole like not been out once. Like
no, so we've been in since Wednesday, not last week, the week before, and because of the way the wife got it first, so then we all obviously isolating, and then I've got it. So anyone who hasn't got it then their self-isolation starts again, because so Reese, my 15-year-old son, he's going to have to be until the 10th. So he'd have had to stay in from the 21st all the way through to the 10th.
And he hasn't even got it.
and he hasn't even got it. So, and the kids are the same. So the kids have missed half of school last week, not all of school last week because it was half term, but the week before, half of that week, all of this week, and they can't go until Tuesday, I think. So it's quite tough on them as well. They don't get it. Dylan's okay because he's 10, so he understands it. But Nevaeh, the youngest, she's 3. She doesn't know why we can't have any of her friends round or her cousins, or why she can't go to the park. It's really hard to. There's a global pandemic. The Prime Minister's got. You can't explain these things to a 3-year-old. They just think you're being mean. And I don't know if anyone can see this as well. On anyone who's watching this, one of my eyes hasn't opened properly since I've had COVID. It's quite concerning.
Which one is it? Your left one, yeah.
This one, yeah, my left arm.
Yeah,
it's still doing. Yeah,
it's still doing it.
It made one of the thumbnails in the vlogs the other day. I was sort of scanning through the videos, trying to find like a really nice screenshot. And there's one where he was sort of like winking at the camera quite seductively. I was like, perfect. And then we were in a meeting the next day and you were like, oh, my eye's been horrible. It's been gamming up the whole day. And I was like, oh no, it was a gammy eye.
It's really strange, isn't it?
At least
if anyone knows what that is.
At least it passed off as seductive.
Something wrong with that.
Yeah,
that's concerning now, because people might think I'm trying to be seductive on video calls with them, and I've just got a dodgy eye.
Just on with a client, just been like,
yeah. Why was he winking at me?
I would love to see you try and explain the global pandemic to Nevaeh. I mean, that's got a sketch written all over it. That has.
It really has, hasn't it?
Adult trying to explain the global pandemic to a 3-year-old. Do you know anyone else who's had it? As in, like, Rona, and then has had that eye thing or not?
No. I think it's just me. Maybe it's just a coincidence and something else is going on with my face. Maybe I'm just at that age where it just starts to droop.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see. I think once I'm out of this whole thing, because I still feel really rough now. Once I'm out of this, well, if it's still like it, I might have to go and take a trip to the doctors. But,
when you allowed out, then?
I'm allowed out tomorrow, as long as what they say. So it's officially I'm allowed outside tomorrow, so I can go for a walk and etc. But they do say if you're still experiencing symptoms, then try not to go out. Yeah, but I'm not experiencing sort of like the symptoms. I just feel really like just fatigued and like I feel like I need to sleep all the time. But tomorrow I'm going out for a run / walk because I haven't done any fitness in a couple of weeks now. And part of that's because I felt too rough to do it. But the other part's just I've just lacked motivation, just been feeling sorry for myself. So tomorrow I'm getting up and I'm going to go for a walk outside the house, which is incredible.
How excited! You were really excited about that.
Oh, mate, my Instagram stories are blowing up tomorrow. You get some pictures of ducks and horses and just like little flowers and stuff. It's going off.
I was going to say, do you want to meet up? And because I knew you'd be going out tomorrow morning. I knew you was going to go out. But then I was like, oh, we probably still can't do that. If you're still feeling a bit rough.
Yeah, I'm going to wait until Monday until I actually like venture out and like go to a shop or anything like that. So Lorna's been great. She's allowed out now, so she's having to look after the kids because they're off school and keep up with the house and the shopping. It's back to that again, isn't it? You know, it's the kids can go back to school, but obviously they're still isolating, so we're pretty much in this situation until Tuesday.
You're like on the old school lockdown. You lot.
Yeah.
Kids are in. No one's allowed out. You're locked down 1.0.
It is. It's, you know what the worst thing is? It's the kids. So like, you know, I can just tell like, how frustrated they are. And like I say, when they don't get it, they don't understand. It's even worse then. The older ones, like, you know, Reese is still really, really pissed off. And trying to look at every way he can go out. He's like, one of my mates is in the same situation as us. He's self-isolating as well. His mom's got it. So really, we should be able to spend some time together because we've probably both got it. And I'm like, no, you can't leave the house.
Trying to create his own bubble.
It's brilliant, yeah. And I'm just like, mate, you just can't do it.
Fair play to him. I like his approach to it. I mean, yeah, as a 15-year-old, you got to be wounded that you're having to stay in longer than anyone and you've still not got it.
Yeah, and he had a test as well, and it came back as negative. So he's just like, this is bullshit. This is crap.
Oh no, man, it is bad. Well, I'm glad you're starting to feel a bit better, mate. And
I feel better, like health-wise. I feel better. I still feel so tired, but you know when you're that tired but you still struggle to go to sleep. So I feel like throughout the whole day, I could easily fall asleep right now. I reckon if I just went and lay down for 5 minutes, I'd be gone. But then as soon as you got that opportunity, you can't get sleep. And that was me last night. And I didn't get to sleep till about 11, which is actually quite late for me. But I used to get up at 5:30, go to the gym, and now I'm sleeping until 8, and I'm still so tired. I'm thinking, how did I used to do that before? How did I used to get up at 5:30 and like feel more refreshed? But I guess it's the thing about going to a gym and waking up early and doing the fitness, and mentally it just makes you feel much better. Whereas at the minute, I'm just like, I just want to eat food and get fat, and you know, I want to punish myself with food. Right?
Yeah. Sometimes it feels good short term, though, doesn't it? That it does
short term, but when that short term turns into 2
Medium.
months, and you go, I've put loads of weight on and I feel terrible about myself, and that's when you need to sort of like stop it. So tomorrow's my first day. I've only been locked up for like 15, 16 days, whatever it's been, but that's enough. That is, I'm like, yeah, that's 15 days of like constantly just eating what you want, not exercising, and just beating yourself up a bit. Now I've got to get out of that, and actually it's quite a good month to do it because it's November and there's a lot of talk around mental health. So it's like, yeah, I'm going to get out there and do a little bit.
Yeah. Are you doing the November thing?
Yeah, I'm going to start running tomorrow. Like I said, it would be a run slash walk. But I'm going to try and do
60k. You have to do 60k in a month.
You can choose. I think there's different options. I think we've got one with work, so I'm going to sign up to that tonight and start on that. I guess it's, for me, it's like I like doing things in social media and going, look, I'm doing this. And it's not because I want to show off and go, look how fantastic I am. I can do lots of running. It's almost like that accountability of going, well, I've told everyone I'm going to do it now, so I have to do it. And when I wake up that morning and I think, I really can't be asked to do this 5K, I'm going to go, you know what? No, I've got to do it because it's raising awareness. It's for a fantastic cause. And actually, I'm going to benefit from it as well. So everyone wins.
Yeah, no, fair play. I should do it, shouldn't I? Should I do it?
Yeah, you know, you should do it. Yeah, even if you walk it, it's good for you. And you know what I find? When I'm not allowed to do something, the urge to do it is like tenfold. So because I can't go out and run now, for the last 2 weeks, all I've been wanting to do is go out and run. You can guarantee you after that first run tomorrow, I'm like, yeah, that was a bit hard, that was. Maybe I won't do it every day, but I'm going to force myself to do it. So I'm going to tell everyone I'm going to run non-stop for 30 days. I'm going to do a 5K a day for 30 days. And then that way I'll get fit in the process and hopefully raise a bit of awareness. Bite off more of that.
I was just going to say, Kelly on Facebook wants to know, Lee, if you are going to.
I knew she'd cool.
I like Kelly because anytime I like, if I go away, if I go away with Lee, she'll message me and go, try and get Lee to go to the gym.
bad complex. I'm gonna get in it.
Yeah.
She's just not happy with the man she's with. She's trying to evolve me into something else.
I think you're twice the man you was when you got with her. So maybe
yeah, twice the size.
Mate, it's so easy to put weight on there. I can't believe, and because I track my weight quite a lot, I know exactly like what's gone wrong when it goes wrong. And over the space of the last 2 weeks, and probably the week before I actually got it, because we was in London, weren't we, Lee? So we ate quite a lot. I was having full English breakfast, and do you know what I mean? It was a bit, I wasn't really watching what I was eating. So over the past 3 weeks, I'd say, I've ended up putting a good few pounds on. And I'm like, God, it's so easy. If you don't watch what you're what you're putting in your body for a month to 2 months, you can go off track quite quickly.
Yeah, no, I've done exactly the same thing. It's one of those things, isn't it, that you think that working from home, I always think this, working from home would allow you to be more prepared with your food. And, you know, I don't think it does, because I find that I'm like bouncing from video call to meeting, you know, to all these different things, that I end up forgetting that I've got to eat, and I end up, you know, or I haven't prepped it, and then I'll just order something in, or I'll eat something, you know, that's probably not that good. Whereas it should be the opposite, really, shouldn't it? You should have a bit more time to.
Yeah, yesterday I had a full-size large pizza for my lunch. That's some going, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but the only thing I would say about that is that I do think when you're like really under the weather, I just think eating anything, I just think like just get some food and you worry about it when you feel a bit better. I think you can easily be like really tough on yourself, but it's kind of like, what's the point? You already feel like shit. Like,
yeah, I've kind of said to myself, like, there's not a lot you can do, because you just don't. I haven't felt well, so I have got up some mornings and thought I could easily do a 20-minute HIIT session now just to keep ticking over. But I just couldn't do it. I was like, I feel too ill. What am I doing? Just relax. Like, don't overdo it. Half your face isn't even working.
Oh, Gammy, old Winker, serial Winker over there. You look stressed at the minute. I've spoke to you a few times this week, and both visually and from an audio perspective. And each time, actually, even in text format. Even in text format, I'm like, oh, he's not happy.
I am stressed, and I think there's a load of things that go into it. Like, is it
because you're ill, do you think, or do you think actually
that hasn't helped? I think psychologically, I came into my week of annual leave feeling like I really need a break, and I had some off-grid time away booked in where there was like no Wi-Fi. We was all going to stay in like this little cabin in the middle of a field with one other cabin, so there was like no one else there, on a farm, beautiful countryside. And then I ended up having to cancel that and staying in. And even though I haven't been at work because I was ill anyway, so I couldn't really do much, I still don't feel like I've had that break, because the stress that I have at work then just got replaced by new stresses of health stresses. And I'm like, I haven't had a break. So I've replaced my sort of like my break. I thought, a nice break, get me into the last 2 months of the year, smash them, and then you got Christmas. I haven't had that. So I just feel like I've gone from crap to crap. And as well, this time of year, it's very, very stressful running a business. You're looking at budgets, you're looking at all that sort of stuff. And having that week off just hasn't helped. Like, I haven't had enough time to really comfortably get stuck into it, and I just feel like I'm rushing everywhere. I'm rushing. And then you've got lockdown. Like, you know, you've job losses across the country. You know, this morning, more job losses. Sainsbury's and Argos job losses. It's really bad out there, and then you're caught between this. Like, sometimes I feel you have a little bit of feeling of guilt, but then you're like, I'm allowed to feel bad. It doesn't matter. Like, you know, yes, you know, we're in a good position at the minute as a company, but that doesn't mean like I can't feel as bad as everyone else in the world. Shit.
Yeah, I think you can overthink that, can't you? Like, oh, our business is doing all right, so we're not allowed to feel the strain or the stress of whatever's going on. I think that's, you know, it's horseshit, isn't it? I think everything's relative, and everyone's got stuff going on and stuff. I think, yeah, it's always it's always horrible, isn't it, being ill when you go like. Last year, I did exactly the same when I went on for my mum and dad's 60th. My mum's always wanted to go on a cruise, and she'd like paid for the whole family to go on this cruise. And I got there, and I think the illest I've ever been. And I spent the whole week in this cabin just looking out at the sea, like Tom Hanks in Castaway, just bobbing up and down. Honest to God, I just kept throwing up. It was just horrible. The whole thing was. And I got back. I was pissed off for months. I think just at the notion of going like, I have to really plan my time off because of the business, just like you do. You know, we have to do it in advance and go, well, and it's rare we can go, I'm going to take a week off short notice, because there's always like, my calendar's booked out sometimes like a month, 6 weeks in advance of stuff. And it is harder to do that. And I don't like to do it like that either. I kind of like to feel like I've gradually like ticked stuff off and done that. And I was pissed off for ages about it, that my holiday had been, it's almost like someone had stolen. I don't know who I was pissed off at, like the holiday police or something, I don't know, but like, I was pissed off that it had been stolen from me. And it is annoying, isn't it? I think because you do cherish those, but I know I'm not very good at planning. You're way better at planning for them than I am, way better. But it is a horrible feeling, isn't it?
It is crap, and you know, it's like, oh, you couldn't go on holiday. I really needed it, like really needed it, and I've now I'm back at work. I'm just angry. I'm just angry at everything and everyone. I'm angry at the government. I'm angry at like just the situation we're in. I'm just angry. Like I think this time of year as well, Christmas. It's like. You feel a little bit different. I don't know. It's a little bit more of an emotional time, isn't it, Christmas? Because you start thinking about your family that you haven't seen in a while, and you're going to get together, and it's going to be fantastic. I don't even know that's going to happen. I haven't seen my dad in 6 weeks because he's on the vulnerable list. So I've spoke to him on the phone, but there's nothing like sitting down and having a Sunday dinner with your dad. Do you know what I mean? It's like, and having a couple of pints. Can't do that. I don't even think I'll be able to do it this year. And he's very, very old. And then I start worrying and thinking, am I ever going to be able to do it? Because my dad, every time I see my dad, he's like, I've outstayed me welcome. I could go any time now, and I'm all right with it. And I'm like, shut up, Dad. Like, you know, like, you've got a few years left. Yeah, he went, I should have been dead ages ago. Like, you know, he's of that type, but it won't stop him from going out. He's like, as long as he won't break the rules, but he's like, as long as I'm allowed to go out, I'll go out. So on the first lockdown, he got a letter and he had to stay in, but he hasn't got that this time. He's still allowed to go out to the shop. Stuff like
not
that.
sending them, are they, this time? I don't think they're not.
No. So he's happy with that, because him and his missus can go out and do some shopping and stuff like that. But we can't go and see him. Only one of my brothers goes to see him, because he's like really careful about where he spends his time and stuff like that. So he'll go to his door and he'll drop a load of shopping off and stuff. But they still can't go and have a Sunday dinner or, you know, drink or whatever. It's really crap. So there's just loads of stuff in there, like, to be upset about at the minute.
Yeah, Christmas is a worry, isn't it? Where you want to get everyone together. I don't know, what do you usually do? You go and see your dad and stuff. What do you do, Bex, Christmas wise?
It's my dad's birthday on Christmas. And
is it?
It is, yeah. My little sister used to think he was Jesus because he's a reverend as well. So I remember one time she was like, "Dad, are you Jesus?" Yeah, no. But yeah, because it's my dad's birthday, we go and see him. And my mum and dad are separated, so we have to divvy time up on Christmas to go and see them. So that's extra not happening this year, because it would be extra germs.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard on everyone, isn't it? I think what they're going to do is extend it from the 2nd to like further into December, and then look at Dylan. Sorry, I love this. Has he got no clothes on?
He's just got out of the shower. Honestly, I didn't hear anything you guys have just said, because he's opened the door, and my 10-year-old son just at the door, and he's going, "I need pants. I need some pants." And he's sitting there with just a towel on, dripping wet, going, "I need pants," like that. So apologies for that. I don't even know what you're just talking about, because my hand was just out of shot, just going.
I could see it. I seen you look. I seen your eyes go. I thought someone's at the door, and I just seen Dylan's head like creep down below you. And I thought, he's got no clothes on again. He loves doing that, doesn't he?
Honestly, I'm not even joking. We've just been calling him Captain Underpants for the whole of this lockdown. All he wears is pants. Like that's all he wears. The wife's just come up because she's heard a disturbance. Can you get him out the? You're live right now. Live.
Oh God, that kid. The thing is, he is definitely your kid. I mean, if I could ever like choose a dad-son duo that were replicas, I'm just like that kid is yours. Like he's
a mini me.
He is, isn't he?
He wants to start. I think I've said this before on a podcast. So he wants to start his own YouTube channel. And I said, when you're 10, you can do it. And then he turned 10, and I've gone back on my word because I just don't feel he's ready for it, or I'm not ready to be able to offer that level of protection yet. And I said, like, if you do it, I have to be involved because, you know, putting yourself out there, you know, people can start being negative about your content and putting that in comments. And I want him to understand that just because someone writes something negative doesn't mean it's true, and to sort of like how you're going to feel about that if someone does write something negative. So there's a whole education piece there with him about going, as soon as you're out there, someone can come and say something really nasty, and it might not be true, but people will do that because that's what the internet's like. You know, there's thing called trolls, and you know, and he gets some of that as well. But it's different when you see someone personally attack you for maybe the way you look, and you put a lot of effort into doing something. I don't want him to not understand how he should process that. So that's kind of why I went back on it, because I'm like, I haven't done my bit to get you ready for that yet.
I mean, great name for a YouTube channel, isn't it? I'll Captain Underpants.
Captain Underpants, yeah. I mean, Captain Underpants is a character. It's a film, isn't it? Captain Underpants.
Oh, is it? Of course it is. Yeah. No, that's it. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There you go. Yeah. That's what we call him. But he's going to be getting a YouTube set up for Christmas, so I've got to put in a little bit of work now in between then.
Nice. Who's he follow on YouTube? What's his go-to? Because Ava's got really into like following, but she loves following like there's like loads of like family YouTubers now, isn't there? Like Norris Nuts, and there's a couple of others that she follows. She's obsessed with Norris Nuts. Like they're an Aussie family, or New Zealand. I think they're Aussies.
He knows quite a lot. I mean, I don't really know. So some of like the prankster ones, like, do you remember Woody and Kleiny?
Yeah, they've gone massive.
They're huge. Yeah, I remember he said, oh, he's watching one of their videos. I went, oh, I know them, like, because from years ago when you used to all network together on like Share for Share on Facebook and stuff like that. Yeah. Sort of group there, but he likes that sort of stuff. But he's mainly into gaming, so he'll sit there and watch an hour-long video of someone just gaming on Roblox or Minecraft or Fortnite. So, and that's what he wants to do, and he does it now. It's hilarious because you go into the room and go, who are you talking to? But he's just pretending to talk to an audience. And that's what he'll be doing. Like, hi guys, back again. Don't forget to. And I'm just like, this is brilliant. Like, he's got that personality as well, where he doesn't struggle to do that, to like talk to himself. He narrates things as he does them when he's gaming. I'm like, and some of it's like hilarious. So I think he'll do all right.
I mean, it's funny, isn't it? You wouldn't have been able to imagine, would you? Like, you know, that industry booming up of people watching people playing games. But how interesting that Dylan plays his games and he's like practicing YouTubing. Like,
it's brilliant.
Like acting classes or something, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's like that type of like, it's just mad.
It is so much fun to do that though. Like, I have to admit, sometimes I'll be doing my makeup in the morning and then I'll be like, okay guys, hi, it's Bex. They're going to be doing that. And it's so much fun.
Maybe I'm going to do that when I put my makeup in the morning. Yeah.
Do it.
Or when I'm playing FIFA, like just narrate it, just to see how it feels. Like, I think I'd feel like an idiot. But we got any questions or anything? Bex, anyone knocking around? Oh, Gav, you know, how embarrassing, Bex, but I've just realised that, and this is like the third week of doing it on StreamYard. I've just worked out to see the comments. We've got Gav Mullally's in. Nice to see you, Gav. Have we got any questions?
There's a good question from Ben Price. It says, How do you ensure you're maintaining the full throttle positivity vibe during these challenging times? I want to add an extra question to that. Is it always correct to be maintaining a full throttle positivity vibe?
I think I mean I can answer a little bit on this. I think it's fine to drive like this full throttle positivity vibe, but you've definitely got to take time and be sort of like empathetic towards people who aren't feeling it. So it's all right, just, you know, if someone's down, well, be positive. No, just fuck off. Like, you know what I mean? You listen to these people and what the problems are first, rather than just trying to shove positivity down the throat. But one thing we are doing at the minute, which I've seen coming through, and I think it's amazing, and hopefully you'll agree, Liz. We talked about, maybe not in the last podcast, the one before, about setting up the transformation team. And they're starting to now put some things in place that are helping us get together and sort of like be more positive about things. And I seen one come through today. Was it Come Dine With Me one, Lee?
Yeah, I don't know whether it's been announced yet.
Oh, sorry. Oh, well, there you go.
I think
Not
it's
that one then.
today.
There was another
The
one
one
was
that's been announced is the
Spotify.
playlist that's been announced.
Oh, right, yeah. I think
exclusive.
Exclusive, just ripping it out of Alice's grips.
You know what? It doesn't matter because not many people listen to us, Lisa.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. Yeah, no, I agree. We are, you know, I'm so pleased the guys are getting together to try and work on stuff like that. Yeah, like I think that like Spotify playlist has been added for people to listen at home and things like that. I think, look, it is really hard. Like, this is the thing, isn't it? We could pretend to be positive all the time when we're with anyone from work, right? But it wouldn't be authentic, would it? It's just bullshit. And I think the reality is that we have a responsibility to make sure that we're trying to push positivity through. Don't get me wrong, and we'll always try. But sometimes it's okay to not have it in you to do that. We are human. I've had it certainly, and you know, I reckon I have it once a week, if I'm honest. Because it is hard, isn't it? So much going on, and I think because there's so much going on in the world and the logistics of everything that's happening, like, you know, the fear of lockdown has been bothering us for the past 6 months again. You know, we're going into that first one, coming back out of it, and we're certainly at like board and leadership team level. It's been a constant conversation. We've had different plans in place at different times, sometimes 2 or 3 plans based on one scenario that might happen, just ready so that we're like, okay, just so all the team know and we can roll it out quickly as possible. We'll have that ready. So, and we've been reiterating that like every month, being like, okay, it doesn't feel like it's going to happen, but if it does, what would happen now if we got locked down? And then sure enough, it did, but we'd already put the plan in place if another lockdown happened like 6 weeks ago at the last leadership meeting. And I think there's something in that. So I just think our responsibility is to be as positive as we can, but it's also to be just bloody human and be real and like, you know, empathise with people that are struggling, and don't be too hard on yourself when we're struggling as well. I guess if I'm really struggling, I'll ring Ad, you know, and then vice versa. And I think what ends up happening is when he's having a bad week, I'll have a better one, and when he's having a good one, I'll have a worse one. We don't tend to do it at the same time. I don't know whether that's good or bad, but it's sort of like we balance it. We're like yin and yang, maybe.
I think it is good that happens, because there was one time this year where we both were having a bad time at the same time. And it was quite worrying, wasn't it? Because you were just like, this is shit. And I was like, if it is shit, this is shit.
And I looked at Adam and was like, what do you mean? You think it's shit as well? It is. Like, we can't both think it. But I mean, look, I'm lucky as well. And I think, you know, you are as well, Ad, that we've both got like hugely supportive other halves that take the strain when things have fallen to shit at work. And I think we, you know, unfortunately for them, they have to put up with a lot of stuff that's sometimes out of our hands, but it's definitely out of their hands. And but I think we're lucky in that way that when we are having a rough one, I think you know, they both kind of like step up and try and help us as well. So I think we're lucky in that way. But Yeah, good question though, Ben Price. Great question. Great question.
Ben Spice, I call him.
Ben Spice, yeah.
He really liked the Spice Girls at school. That's why we call him Ben Spice.
And spicy food.
Yeah,
spicy food.
And the drug spice.
And the drug spice. Yeah. No, he's a teacher. That's that. Yeah. Any more questions or comments or anything like that? Anyone else knocking round?
Kelly wants to know how big Adam's glass is.
Oh, it's a big glass, that.
Whoa! Is that like a pint in there?
Have you been?
Two?
I think it's 2. Have you been drinking out of that whilst we've been on?
Yeah.
I haven't seen you pick it up. What have I been doing? It's bigger than you had, that is.
Does that even fit in the dishwasher?
No. I have to. I take it down the old Polish car wash, don't I? When I'm doing the car, clean that out while you're here.
Hose it out in the garden.
Yeah. Or any other car wash. It doesn't have to be Polish.
Yeah.
The one I go to is run by Polish firms. So, yeah.
Bex had one. You had a thing that you wanted to chuck in the mix. It's very social media-y, isn't it, Bex?
It is. So over the past month, there were suggestions that the BBC were going to be rolling out new rules and guidelines for their staff to follow when they were using social media. And within the past week, those have come to fruition, and there have been definite rules laid out for the BBC staff to follow.
See, I don't know how I feel about all this. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know where the. Yeah, a little bit. I don't want to be in the middle, but it's kind of like, where do you draw the line? I'm not a massive fan of censorship, but I kind of understand. I mean, particularly for the BBC, I kind of get it. I just think, as long as they're not slagging off the company, you kind of got to let people get on with it, haven't you? I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's some things that for me aren't even debatable, and like everyone should get behind it. And I think if you don't have that view on like equality, then I'm happy for if a client doesn't want to work with us because someone in the business wants equal opportunities for, like, say, the I don't know, even if it's just a gender thing, then I'm not going to tell someone they can't talk about that like on social media, because I think everyone should believe in that, shouldn't they?
Well, yeah. Any form of quality. So there's a who was it? Who's rounded it up, Bex? There's a like a report or something they've like rounded up the points of the do's and don'ts.
I think it might have been The Guardian.
And it's really like the things. So they've done like 10 things to do, 10 things you can do, and 10 things that you can't, based on the BBC's new social media rules. And some of them are really shit. So like straight away, I go to number 6 right on this thing, and it says, and it sort of fits in with this ad, what you just said. Do not support campaigns, no matter how apparently worthy the cause. So like,
oh yeah, on the screen.
Oh yeah, brilliant. Oh, this is good, Bex. Although it's covered your face, but I'm not a fan of that. But yeah, number 6, do not support. Oh no, I went the wrong way. I did what you did. Do not support campaigns, no matter how apparently worthy the cause. I mean, that is so broad and so.
I bet I know what that is. That's basically saying that's getting around the whole Black Lives Matter one. That is.
Yeah, that's Black Lives Matter and Pride that they're referring to.
Yeah, I bet. Is that what they were referring to?
Yes, they specifically used the phrase "the trans issue."
Right.
What, as in, did they do this? The trans issue?
I think so, yeah.
Wow. That's not very BBC, is it? Or maybe it is, to be fair.
Yeah, that's an interesting one as well. So do not reveal how you vote or express support for any political party. So that's actually something that I practice myself, because I think politics is, no matter which way you go, whether if you're left or right, people are so passionate about it that they instantly make a decision on you. I've always sat on the fence, I have, which actually some people say that's worse. Like, I could go left or right. It depends who's closer to the middle for me. If they're really far right, then there's a really good chance that I'm going to vote Labour, and the same if they're really, really far left, then I'm going to go for whoever's close to the middle, and that might be a Tory government. So it's difficult, isn't it, really? But I do see people who work for us who post about their political opinion, and I sometimes I don't feel comfortable either way. If it's for like pro Boris or not, I feel uncomfortable when I see both sets of that. But I would never. I don't think as long as it's, I suppose it's subjective as what crosses the line. But as long as you don't cross the line, then I guess it's okay.
And the problem but the problem with all these things is that who draws the line?
Yeah.
And that's the thing, isn't it? The line in itself is subjective. So I do exactly the same as you, and I avoid any like political sort of opinion through social media. One, because I obviously heavily think about what my words stand for, and I'm so closely linked to the brand, and does that mean my views are the brand's views and all this sort of stuff. But two, I kind of like, I don't want to get into the battleground of it. I'm going to vote for based on what I read, what information I take in, and then how I decide to sort of like, it's my vote, yeah. But equally, I wouldn't tell someone who work for the company that they're not allowed to give their political opinion, because how can you say if you want to work here, you're not allowed to openly have a political opinion? Is basically what that says.
I mean, it's funny that you say that, because I have a quote from Tim Davie, who set out the rules.
If you want for a second, then I thought you were going to bring out some kind of policy we had. I was about to go, don't do that, please. Like, actually funny you say that, Lee, because your policy said.
So Tim Davie said, if you want to be an opinionated columnist or a partisan campaigner on social media, then that's a valid choice, but you should not be working at the BBC.
Wow. It's quite strong, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't think that's going to... What kind of journalist, especially one who's passionate about politics, is going to take that on?
Yeah.
It's obvious which way companies sway, and I guess that, is it a good or a bad thing? So, like, if you look at someone like Joe, the media outlet Joe, they don't openly say which way they sway, but you can clearly see that they're on the left from the content that they post.
Yes.
And they do it in such a way that that that's what they want to portray, but maybe they're just not openly saying it.
100%. I mean, they did talking about Joe, they did an amazing job during the last elections. Incredible in terms of their coverage, and the amount of content they were creating and the position of it definitely would have helped any left party. 100%. They were on it, did a great job of it. But yeah, you can tell, can't you? You can tell the thing. Another one here, right? Get this one. So, I mean, this is hilarious. Even just do not be seduced by the informality of tone and language on social media.
That one's my favourite one. Don't be seduced by it.
So, like, you got to use the Queen's English on social. It's and another one as well. The do not post anything that couldn't be said on air or on BBC platforms. I mean, they might as well not have a bloody social media account.
Yeah, it's insane. I think there is a worry because I've seen it actually in comments when I've seen someone say something really controversial on Twitter or in a comments thread on Facebook, and actually it's like it's wrong. Like, you know what I mean? It's not an opinion like, oh, Donald Trump's a dickhead. That's an opinion, isn't it? But like something that's like clearly,
it's pretty factual as well. But
yeah, it's factual. It's pretty like wrong. And then people will go, I wonder what your employer will think about this. And then like people in there going, yeah, we've just sent this to your employer, because they go on the Twitter account and it says they work at wherever they work. And then so I can guess, I guess why that's why they do it. But I think there's a lot of people who do go on social media platforms and they are, I don't know, they bring it on themselves. Like it's not a place where you're untouchable, and I think people think that they are. I think that things that they say on social media, nothing's going to happen, because if you said that some of those things in real life to someone's face, in fact you just wouldn't. It would just be too rude.
You're in a meeting room and you said some of the stuff that you type down, people wouldn't do it. Yet more people see it when it's written on social than.
But the point I was trying to make, I guess, was that I guess they're doing this to be overprotective.
Well, interestingly, does it not create as well, like anyone who works for the BBC, if they do want to be active on social media, are effectively only allowed to have the same opinion as the BBC, which could be no opinion at all on something, or you can post stuff that could be aired on BBC. Isn't it like an army of, effectively creating an army of thousands of people who are going to spread the message of the BBC as well anyway, by default, because if they don't, it's like, well, either have the account or fucking you're not allowed to use it properly anyway. So
yeah, it's frustrating, and actually I feel that, because like you said, we don't really get involved when it comes to things like politics, and sometimes I'd like to jump in and say things, and I just think anyone can see this, and whether they agree with me or not, I just don't want to. You know what
my thing is in politics as well, is that I pay attention to it around election time and stuff, but I'm not, I certainly wouldn't claim to be an expert on policies, and I have an opinion, but I will talk and have opinions on things that I know that I can like back up or defend, or that I feel passionately about. But I've always got the fear as well of just posting something for for the sake of an opinion on something, and then someone being like, well, actually, X, Y, Z, and I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I didn't really read that properly, or I've not done enough research on that. I probably don't know enough about it, and that's what I feel about politics, is I probably don't know enough to really start like wanging my hammer around and being like, well, actually, this is the way. Whereas there's so many people that do that. Like,
I think that's what you'll find though. Most people are the same, but they still give their opinion.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. But what do you think to the old American one then? Because it's still not been announced, has it?
Honestly, British politics don't really interest me that much. So American one certainly doesn't. I think I don't know enough about it. This Biden guy, he looks too old to run a country. I said that about Trump, and that's not being ageist. I'm like, you're approaching 80, isn't it? 79. The guy's 79. I can only compare to like what people in my family are like at that age. No way. You know what I mean? They don't want running a country. God, it's one of the hardest things to do in the world, and I don't know why anyone would want to do it at that age. I'm not even capable. I don't feel capable to do this at 35.
Joe Biden's 77 years old. It's a really interesting. Yeah, I mean that's a really interesting point, isn't it? It's a stupid job. Like no one should be able to run America. No, they shouldn't. It's too big, man. Like you can't. Yeah. How many people live there? Like 300 and something million, 400 something million. What is it? Go on, Bex. Jump in on Google.
328.2 million as of 2019.
Okay, so 330 million, right? People live in one place, and one fucking person runs it. How stupid! Like. Come off it. It's so big. They should just run it off in the state. And to be fair though, it's kind of run like that in one sense, isn't it? Because the states are like countries. They've all got different laws. They've all got like. I'll tell you what they do need to do though: employ some more people to count the bleeding things. Something funny. The election's been going on for a couple of days. People counting it. I'm like, just get a better system, man. We can't get something that's like, where's someone build a dashboard and tell whether it's red or blue? Like, Jesus Christ.
Is it not been announced yet then? No,
it's still the counting's still happening. I'm like,
Biden ahead though. That's right, isn't it? Is he?
Yeah. It looks like he's going to win. I think it's 270, isn't it? I think you have to get the win, and he's at like 264. I think it was when I looked last. So he's Trump's in like 220s or something. So it doesn't seem like.
As of right now, Biden's got 264 electoral votes and Donald Trump's got 214.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't see it happening. We're gonna have to wrap up, guys, because Kelly Craddock is so active on this podcast, but she's basically telling. So Kelly Craddock does the recruitment. She runs a company called Culture Heads Recruitment, and she's telling Adam that he's got an interview in 10 minutes' time. So
I have. Don't worry, I'm prepared for it. It's fine.
So,
that's what I do.
I love lovely catching up, Bex. It's been brilliant having you on. Way better than Jamie. Way better than Jamie.
Well,
No,
of course,
joking.
that goes
I'm
without
joking.
saying.
I love Jamie. Hope you're feeling better soon, mate. As always, guys, please follow us on the YouTube channel. If you haven't already, go subscribe there. Lots of content coming out on there across the next month. I believe there's some changes to come, Bex, with some content and the Daily Bolt and lots of other stuff there. I believe there's a switch up with regards to the podcast potentially as well. Maybe we're going to be at a different time, maybe even a different day. Who knows? But keep your eyes peeled for that, guys. Please leave a review on the Spotify or on Apple Podcasts. We need as many of them as possible. I have been Lee Wilcox.
I've been Adam Barrie.
This has been the Drunken Brainwave. And
Bex.
Bex.
Yeah, I've been Bex. This has been the Drunken Brainwave. Bye.
You need someone to. Do you need to find someone to say? I'm
going to be honest with you.
There's no one about. It's your job then, Bex.
Okay. I'll do. I was going to say a really bad joke. Okay. Oh, what happened when the cheese factory exploded?
What happened when the cheese factory exploded?
Go on.
Just debris was left.
Oh, that's a belter.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.